great opportunity to do just that. We'll be checking out Kyle Lowry tonight. He's the definition, I think, of a late bloomer. When you see how his game has really blossomed with experience, how does his performance rate for you, Kenny, among the best point guards in the league?
Oh, he's up there when he's healthy. The key is health with him. I think he made his first All-Star team last year, first All-Star game. That was great. You know, at 28 years old, that usually doesn't happen when you.
Place they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. George Hill out there with Ellis. Then there's Allen. Then it's Paul George, and it's Mahimi in at the 5 spot. It's stolen by Lowry. Inside, here's Carroll. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Well, I'm sure you guys have heard this, that the nickname that has been given to DeMar Carroll, the Junkyard Dog, I think it's apropos. Kid drafted out of Missouri back in the 2009 draft.
Yeah, and he actually had to show perseverance to hang around. Bounced around him.
And Bissell fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Patrick Patterson. Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
And it's DeRozan missing. Toronto on defense. And George, here we go. Carroll with the rebound.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Ellis, that's good.
For my man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection. I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard. Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And he can't hit the second.
And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
And that one's good.
They got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical, dominant performance out here. They are in a zone. Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
DeRozan! Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. A 3-ball. The shot, no good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. And it's blocked by DeRozan. Carroll against George. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
And that's 10 of their last 12 points that have come off assists.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Powell, he's checked in for DeMar Carroll. And Corey Joseph subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Mahimi. Hill comes in for Lavoy Allen. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for George. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Ellis. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. Well, the one word you can use to describe the Raptors postseason last year, disaster. I mean, Greg, nothing went right for them.
Yeah, I mean, after that great regular season, they were completely just manhandled by the Wizards, swept out of the first round in 4 straight.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Biyombo is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Scola comes in for Patrick Patterson. And it's Ross in for Kyle Lowry.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Well, I tell you, the Raptors really were befuddled with how that series went. I mean, they just never got things going and became the first team to get swept with home court advantage in the playoffs since 2011.
But that one, didn't he? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
Now here's Ross. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
And guys, you look at the Raptors last season and how they stumbled at times. You could see that they would have trouble in the postseason with the way they were constructed. I don't think anybody saw a sweep coming, but that's where it ended up being.
Here's Lawson. Shot clock at 5. Stuckey kicks to Hill. Fades away. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
Buckets, but he should have just gone straight up with it instead of trying to fade away.
Powell dishes to Joseph. Scola against Turner. And Joseph kicks to Ross. Stolen by Miles. They push it up 4 on 3. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And he lobs it up toward the rim.
And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And it's a nice lead as well. I mean, it's no mystery how they've done it. They're attacking the basket.
Lawson drives in. The dish now to Turner. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. Traps in the tray. And Joseph kicks to Ross.
Oh! And a huge lead here early to start.
Well, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
To the left wing, and out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Powell. No luck. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Raptors lead by 13. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. Let's face it, it's never easy for Toronto to get the attention that Clark, the U.S. teams get. That's just a fact of life that even Vince Carter at his best couldn't change.
And, you know, I don't even know if winning a championship would change that. Quite honestly, even if DeMar won the MVP. Just saying.
Yeah. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Raptors.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnovers.
And a moment now to reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Carroll in at the 3 spot.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that...
Out how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
DeRozan against Ellis. Carroll, no one around him. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
Timeout charge to the Pacers.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished, struggled to handle the ball, created then his own shot, and but sometimes he would create for others too.
Yeah.
But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the two. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
And slam dunk by Allen.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here. The Raptors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. That free throw, no good. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Lavoy Allen. And he ends up missing both free throws. And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania, Clark, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with his combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
And he gets it to go. And the Raptors lead by 15.
And watching Valanciunas rebound, it's clear he has all the tools. Great anticipation, really looks to box out. Strong vertical, might just need to add some strength to become a perennial 10-rebound-a-game guy.
Picking up the assist. Hill's got 5 points so far.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
And for Valanciunas, he's been working on his defensive consistency. Last year, he actually increased his blocks per game while lowering his fouls per game. That's a big step forward in his development. That's an example there, guys, of contesting the shot and corralling the board. That's really all you can ask of a guy at that end of the floor.
And George, here we go. That cuts the lead to single digits. He's got 8.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
And DeRozan kicks to Patterson to the middle. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Nobody near George. The three-pointer no good.
And you know what? He's just not on it. That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
A new group in now for the Raptors. Biombo is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Scola comes in for Patrick Patterson. Powell, he's checked in for DeMar Carroll. And Corey Joseph subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Mahinmi. Hill comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Monte Ellis. And it's Lawson in for Hill. Terrence Ross is checked in for Kyle Lowry. And it's the Pacers with the ball. They trail by 11. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Stuckey drives inside. Joseph with the rebound.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Here's Stuckey. And a strong finish with two hands.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
Joseph, the pass to Biyombo. 6 on the shot clock. And he gets it to go. And the Raptors lead by 15. For the first half, it's the Raptors up by 15.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everyone. We'll be taking a look back at what was clearly a one-sided first half of action. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. DeMar DeRozan brought his A game early tonight. He had 10 points, 4 assists, and 1 rebound. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, shooters were popping open.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
They just have not been able to handle DeRozan. He's got 10 points and 4 assists.
Checking out the group for Frank Vogel to start the second half. Paul George is out there with Lavoy Allen. Then there's Ellis. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. And it's Hill in at the 1. To the paint. Here's Carroll. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Hill kicks to George. Indiana moving it around. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Allen's shot is off.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
DeRozan against Ellis. Valanciunas.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
Stolen by George. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Lowry. Here's DeRozan, and the rejection by Mahinmi. To the paint, here's Hill, and the rejection by Valanciunas. Ellis dishes to Allen. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%, and that, my friends, is improved efficiency.
Here's Lowry, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his postgame. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense.
The Pacers making a switch here. Turner's checked in.
Boy, once again, the Raptors were able to put forth a really strong year. You know, the national media recognized it, and the Raptors picked up more and more of the spotlight marquee games as a result.
Here's Hill. He's got 5. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. He's made one and missed one so far in the game.
76% at the stripe for him thus far this season.
Guys, he is close to where he was last year in that category, but his numbers are still down just.
And he's good on the second. Toronto leading by 17. And DeRozan kicks to Lowry. Lets it go from the wing. They get it back. Over Hill. That's good from Lowry on the assist from Valanciunas. Lowry's got 5 points so far.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today. There's a glaring discrepancy between these teams in that area of the game.
And it's been the difference. That's what's enabled them to build such a big lead, no doubt about it.
Hill has the open look, and it's Toronto with the rebound. Well, for a long time, Greg, the Raptors didn't have a lot of nationally broadcast games in the U.S. Seemed like a forgotten team at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? A playoff drop is one of the ways that ended that factor. Also, the team plays an exciting brand of basketball. They're a division winner to go along with that, so you start adding those things up, and you see why the Raptors continue to get more and more coverage nationally. Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
The drive by Lowry. Can't get it to go. So Indiana will take it the other way. And there's the foul. It's going to go on Solomon Hill. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Stuckey drives inside. Plays it up and banks it in. Stuckey's got his third basket of the night right there. Raptors leading by 17. And Joseph kicks to Ross. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Stuckey can't get it to go.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball. And Terrence Ross showed fantastic development in his second season, but really took a step back last year. All of his shooting percentages were down. He exuded confidence, but still at times just could not buy a basket.
Excellent transition passing there, guys. Straight to the hoop.
Timeout charge to the Pacers.
Timeout called the Pacers.
Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
Stuckey outside. He feeds it to Hill. To the left wing. Miles, that's for two. Money from the wing. Miles has got 6 points.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Joseph, the pass to Ross. Shot is no good, so Indiana will take it the other way. Now Stuckey, he has 7. Out to the right wing. Miles dishes to Stuckey. Outside Hill. Just 5 on the clock. Tries from 16. Stuckey can't get it to go.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Here's Powell. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. He has 6.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
11 seconds left to play in the third. And it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That's his first foul.
Personal foul. Substitution on the court.
And here is Ross. To the wing right side. From the arc. And it's good. Powell's got 9. Now here is Hill. No good trying to beat the buzzer. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. It's the Raptors running away with it. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Scola out there with Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Lowry. Then it's Corey Joseph. And it's DeRozan in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the 2 teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Knocks it loose. Feeds it to Ellis. There's the pick. 6 on the shot clock. Shot from the wing. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got 6 rebounds in the game. That's good from Joseph on the assist from DeRozan.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
That drops.
Indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
And there's a whistle that goes on Corey Joseph. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Damari Carroll's checked in Indiana with the change here, too. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. Hill kicks to George. It's back to Hill. Outside DeRozan. The kick out to Scola. The wide open look here for DeRozan. DeRozan can't get that one to fall.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
And here's Hill for 3, and the shot is good.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Here's DeRozan. Ellis with some nice D.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Excellent D there from Hill.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts. He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Ellis, that's good.
That was just a perfect possession, getting it in tight for the high percentage shot.
The Raptors have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Outside Lowry. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. He's guarded by Ellis. And DeRozan. Here we go.
For the Pacers last season with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
Biombo, he's checked in for Valanciunas. Indiana also making some changes. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Paul George. Glenn Robinson III comes in for Ellis. Young is subbed in for George Hill.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
And Toronto making a change here. Powell's checked in. On defense, the Raptors. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. And it's Miles missing. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, G8, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Terrence Ross is checked in for Toronto.
What a pass, and then the layup was a bit of a circus move.
Oh, so smooth.
Yeah, and he really could have fouled that one up trying for the big slam there, though. Just a nice, solid finish for the layup.
The pass to Biyombo. It's rebounded by Indiana. Allen's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here is Miles while recovering. Allen kicks to Miles. And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That's his first foul. And Toronto making a change here. Joseph's checked in. Indiana also making some changes. Solomon Hill, he's checked in for Hill. Stuckey comes in for C.J. Miles. And it's Lawson in for Young.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
Greg, you were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clarkey helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
Wow, he is lighting it up here in the second half.
Lawson kicks to Mahimi. And he gets it to go.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Raptors leading by 23. Pass to Biyombo. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Toronto.
Clark, their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Well, they were disciplined and focused, I thought, all game long, Kevin. Excellent defense around the rim.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Kyle Lowry. You can do a lot to change a game other than scoring, and it was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat.
Ty Lawson grabs the board.
When you do moves like that and you miss, you know you're going to hear it from your coaches and your teammates. Stuckey has been putting up the numbers. He has 12 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of three-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
Well, you know, you look at the Raptors, and they improved in a number of ways last season, but their bench play was one of their bigger improvements. I mean, they had one of the weaker benches in the league in 2014, but they flipped that around last year.
Now the feed to Joseph. Scola sets a screen for Joseph. 5 on the clock. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. And the dunk by Biyombo.
And just a terrific job of taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Greg, those fans had a hand in the win. I mean, they gave this team a big lift throughout the game. I thought there was great energy in the building.
Greg, one thing about the Raptors last year, they made the moves they needed to in order to be sure to fix their bench, strengthen their bench. It showed on paper and in person.
Yeah, credit their front office. In 2014, they had a bottom 5 bench in terms of scoring. Last season, they flipped that, became a top 5 bench in terms of that scoring, and even had the 6th man of the year leading the way.
Lou Williams. Here's Powell, who's guarded by Stuckey. Now, here's the fast break. Stuckey leading the way. And there's a whistle that goes on Corey Joseph.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Shooting for Toronto.
First one falls for him.
Taking 2 shots.
Both free throws good from Hill. Here's Ross, and he goes in for the dunk.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never a...
I won't bow down to no man.
It's Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers looking to come back from down 2-0 in the series. Home in the playoffs this year, and Kyrie Irving came out firing. He finished the game 12 of 25 from the field. He had 30 points on the night. How about LeBron James? He brought it as well. 32 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Golden State was down big in this game, a little better, a little in the third quarter. Klay Thompson finished the game with 10 points. There are 3 of those 10. Steph Curry had 19 points on 6 of 13 shooting, 3 of 9 from range in the air. Just too much. Cleveland and J.R. Smith showing up help. He had 20 points on the game, including 5 of 10 from distance. The Cleveland Cavaliers get a 30-point win after losing by 33 in Game 2. They take this one 120-90, and that's Fast Break on NBA.com.